Hello everybody, this is TipTopMTG here today with another Magic the Gathering video. In today's video, we are going to be talking about 2021 and what sets are coming out for Magic the Gathering. So today we had a huge announcement stream where they talked a lot about Zendikar Rising. They gave us a trailer, mechanics, cards, lots of things, expeditions, and so they also ended the show off by kind of talking about what sets are coming in 2021, similar to how they did with Throne of Eldraine. So I'm just gonna, I'm sure a lot of you just want to know what the schedule is, so why don't I just show the full one right here. So this is their 2021 release schedule. Now, looking at it, I expect there to be more sets in here. I mean, looking at, 2020, we had, obviously, the 4 main standard sets. We had, we're gonna have Commander Legends, we had Double Mastered, we have Jumpstart, we had Mystery Booster, so I expect there to maybe be a few other ones thrown in here, but why don't we break this down? So, starting off, we have Kaldheim, which is going to be Viking World, as you can kind of tell based on the set symbol. So that's going to be the winter set. They talked about how players have been asking for a Viking World, and this is going to be it. So Kaldheim is going to be a Viking World, which is going to be nice to see. Generally what they do is they do, in terms of release schedule, they do, new plane, returning plane, new plane, returning plane. At least that's how it's been recently. But the next set after Kaldheim, by the way, sorry, the top ones are all going to be standard legal sets. Below that are non-standard legal sets. So Kaldheim is going to be standard legal. It is going to come out in late January, early February, and it's going to focus all around Vikings. The next set that will come out will be Time Spiral Remastered. So this will be taking the entire Time Spiral block from way back in the day and remastering into a single draft experience that is supposed to be, nostalgic for older players, fun for new players, and what's really cool is that in the product, they're going to be having cards with old frames in one card in your pack will have an old frame on it. So it'll be really awesome to draft, and it'll be really cool to see that. And I will definitely be talking about it as more news comes out. So this also, by the way, just to clarify, because I did see a lot of questions, Time Spiral Remastered is a paper product, not a digital one like Amonkhet Remastered. So keep that in mind. Next, we have Strixhaven, School of Mages. Now, this is a little bit more interesting. I'm not sure which plane this happens on, but Strixhaven, School of Mages is a set all about the schools of magic. There's going to be, I believe they said, 5 schools of magic that all look at magic from a kind of different way, and they compete with each other. So this is going to be a school about learning, or a set about learning magic. And if this is happening on a new plane, we'll have something kind of interesting here where we kind of have 3 new planes in a row. Now, this could be happening in Dominaria, and if Strixhaven was mentioned somewhere in the lore and I didn't know that, please leave a comment. I will pin it so other people can see. So check that out if that's the case. But yeah, it's going to be all about learning magic, and here's a school of magic, and they compete, and I'm excited to see what that looks like. I mean, generally when we see a set, we see, the world's ending, we need a hero, but here it's kind of just, the schools are competing, and so I'm really excited to see what that looks like, how they're going to do Planeswalkers with it, and all of that. The next set will be Dungeons & Dragons Adventures in the Forgotten Realms, and yes, this is going to be a black-bordered standard legal set. We've had crossovers with a lot of other things in the past, as wild as things like My Little Pony, but now we're getting a Dungeons & Dragons crossover. For those of you who don't know, Dungeons & Dragons is owned by Wizards of the Coast, who owns Magic the Gathering, and this is going to be taking the place of the core set. Now, that does not mean this is going to be a core set with a Dungeons & Dragons logo stamped on it. It is a full set that has new cards and all of that. So they're kind of taking away core set from next year. And I don't know if they talked a little bit about it in their after show, and I'm not too sure whether this is a permanent thing or if it's just, hey, we have this crossover idea, we want to make it happen, let's replace the core set. That could have totally happened, and we may see core set 2020 through 2. That's kind of crazy to think about, but or sorry, core set 2023 in core set 2022, or they may start making the naming a little better and make core set 2022 in core set 20 or in 2022. That way, you know, they don't skip a number. But I would find it weird if they put this here. If they go back to core sets after 1 year, it'll be this weird, awkward gap. At least the other gap was somewhat bigger and you could explain it a little bit more. This just feels a little interesting. So if we, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if we go back to core sets after this year, but I also wouldn't be. Again, the reason they stated was, oh, you know, we wanted to, you know, explore more ventures and, you know, more collector styles and all that, and core sets make that kind of hard. So yeah, I would not be surprised if we see you know, core sets kind of replaced with other sets. Maybe they do one, you know, cross promotion with Dungeons and Dragons every year. Maybe they do a cross promotion in that slot. I don't know. Next, they announced Modern Horizons 2. So I thought Modern Horizons was an amazing set. It was more complex, more fun, and it dumped a bunch of cards straight into Modern, which I know messed up the format a little bit, but I think that as a set, as a drafting experience, it was fun. But you know what it is doing? It is reprinting enemy fetch lands at rare in normal boosters. So it will not be a promo, a collector booster thing, any of that. It will be a booster. It'll be in normal boosters you'll be able to pick up, which should help dramatically lower the price. The only issue is, does this mean Modern Horizons 2 is going to cost more? Most likely. Even if Wizards doesn't intend that, just because they have fetch lands in them, that means the price of this is probably going up to at least $10 a pack, which means drafting it is going to be much, much harder. So let's hope they do something about that, but it'll be interesting to see. Of course, we did get the announcement that fetch lands are being reprinted as expeditions once again. Then in quarter 4, we have something a little weird. So we have Innistrad Werewolves and Innistrad Vampires. Now these, they said, are not the final names or logos or any of that. So, I mean, the logo, the set icon may be the same. But, yeah, it will not be called Innistrad Werewolves and Vampires. Innistrad Werewolves is supposed to come out first, and then it'll be followed by Innistrad Vampires. Now, my question is, and they didn't really explain this, is how close are these sets? Are we getting 5 standard legal sets? Are these going to be, and by the way, they announced these are full-size sets. So are we getting 5 standard legal sets next year? Are they really going to start pushing it to 5? Or is this just going to be the winter set? But, you know, the Innistrad Vampires, which is the second one, is under quarter 4 of 2021. So are they going to maybe release Innistrad Werewolves a little bit earlier than normal, and then Innistrad Vampires at the end of the year, and then maybe have a spring set a little bit earlier, and then maybe try to space it out more evenly? Maybe this is what they're doing. Maybe they are saying, hey, we want to, you know, right now the gap between Zendikar Rising and Kaldheim is the biggest gap, and so maybe they're gonna push 5 sets out next year so that the timing is a little bit more consistent, and I would be all for that. I would love if, you know, the amount of time was pretty more consistent. So yeah, that could be what they're doing, but if I learn anything about it, I will let you know, and if they announce it within like the next day, I will post it in the comments down below. So yeah, either way, guys, that's been the first look at 2021 for Magic the Gathering. I want to know what you guys think in the comments down below. What are you excited? What are you not excited for? All of that, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.